Welcome to Oregon Indie Film, a video podcast that shines the light on Oregon's independent film industry. I'm your host, Dawn Sellers. I interview Oregon's independent filmmakers who offer insights into the creative process, challenges, and triumphs of making movies in Oregon. This episode features storyteller and high school principal Derek Garrison. We talk about his success as a screenwriter, giving yourself permission to make a film, his reasons for producing and directing his feature film, Van Damned, and how he has already measured the success of this project. You'll also hear about his inspiration for this story and how it was the ultimate father-son project. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Derek Garrison. I'm here today with Derek Garrison. Welcome, Derek. How are you today?
Doing great, thank you.
Good. So let's just start off by telling us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Derek Garrison. I'm a most of the time screenwriter, sometimes director if I get impatient, waiting to be discovered or whatnot. So, yeah, storyteller.
Nice. So you're mostly a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed you've placed in a lot of contests.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
When did you first decide that you wanted to be in the film industry?
I was going to Portland State and I was a few credits short on an English degree. And at that time, there weren't really online offerings. And so it came down to either a linguistics course or a screenwriting course. And I'd already taken a linguistics course and it kicked my butt. And so I decided screenwriting. And so I took that course. It was a nighttime class. And the requirement of it was, from beginning of end of the term, was to write a screenplay. And so I kind of fell in love with it then, helped me get my English degree. And then with each subsequent script, I would do better in a bigger contest or be in touch with the producer or director or somebody who was kind of interested in it. So I just kept at it. That was enough encouragement to keep at it.
Yeah. What year was that?
Sheesh.
Long time ago. If you want to tell, you don't have to.
I'm sure it was the 90s. It wasn't the 80s. And I don't think it was the 2000s yet. So it's been a bit.
Yeah. Well, I imagine an English degree is pretty helpful as a screenwriter.
Oh, yeah. No, you get exposed to a lot of literature and a lot of different forms of the craft and just different voices and different perspectives. And you read a lot. And so you recognize things that you like, things that you don't like, and kind of recognizing while there is a skill or there's something in that piece or that poem or that whatever that it might not be for you. And so I think that was a good exposure, just the idea of like, without audience, what is it exactly? And so that's kind of a seed that got planted early, is like, there's some back and forth to what we're doing here. So
yeah. And so are you a full-time filmaker, or do you talk about your day job?
I'll talk about you bet. I'm a high school principal is my day job. So
that's exciting.
So pretty busy, but its own kind of fun and funny and interesting, and encountering different people. And there's a lot of things from that day job that help me in directing. There's a Venn diagram, and there's a pretty big overlap there in those worlds. But yeah, that's the day job. I've been in education for 29, 30 years now. So been at it a while. I'm old, and maybe I should have began with I'm old.
I think a high school principal, educators are so undervalued today. So thanks for doing that, for inspiring the next generation, right?
Yeah, a lot of people working hard, a lot of heart in that business.
Yeah, there is. And so you kind of discovered writing in college, and you've been writing. Are you from Portland?
I'm from, I was born in Eastern Oregon, but I was raised in Gresham. So yeah, East County.
Where in Eastern Oregon?
Burns, Oregon.
Oh, wow. That's like way out there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's way out there east, Cold there.
Yep.
And hot.
Yep.
So did college then bring you to Portland? Is that why you moved to Portland? Or
no, so I moved to Gresham pretty young, and then Portland State was saved a bunch of money to go to Portland State, and they had a good education program, so just stuck around local, and it was just a matter of savings and employment opportunities. Nice.
And so outside of film and keeping track of all those kids, are you high school? You said high school principal,
high school
right?
Principal, yeah.
Wow. What else do you like to do? Or do you spend most of your free time making films?
Well, I got kids, and so fortunate to have pastimes that that I enjoy that they have also seemed to enjoy. So a lot of sports. One of my sons who's actually in the film, he's down in LA, wants to become a director. He manages content creators down there. And so with each son, whether it's been music or sports or film, there's something to bond over. So I'm one of those fortunate people that the things that I like to do are the things that they like to do. And so we're doing it together. So being a dad is kind of the main thing. And music, going to movies, watching movies together. That's kind of my highlights, yeah.
Do you guys like the same kinds of movies?
Me and the son who's down in LA, we often do. So we'll do a Netflix watch party and we take turns.
Oh, fun.
Of the other day, you wanted to see Superman 2, and then I wanted to see Sicario, and so we're similar enough or haven't seen enough of the same thing that we find a good mix of new and old, and kind of showing that next generation, hey, there's this movie called such and such, has you ever seen or whatever. So with him, yes. With the other three, kind of, not quite as, I mean, he's really into it. So there's plenty to choose from. The other boys, they like it, but they don't love it necessarily.
Yeah. Cool. And so we're really here to talk about your film.
Yeah,
Van Damned, which is premiering August 9th at Alberta Abbey.
Yeah.
So when did you wrote that?
Yep.
When did you write that film?
You know, I don't recall the exact start. I know I had the idea, and the idea came to me primarily as a title and an idea. Interestingly, even in listening to a past podcast with John Meyer and then my DP, just that idea of the van life and that means different things to different people.
Right.
And there's the survival aspect of it, and then there's the romantic aspect of it, and just that. And so it was on my mind longer than the script took to write.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens with screenplays, is you have this idea and you come back to it and you're always taking notes of like, that belongs, that's a scene, that's a character, that's some dialogue. And so I may have different scripts going on at any time. So that one, I'd say the idea, I'm sure it came nowhere earlier than 2022. The actual script, probably the winter of 2023 bleeding into 2024, because we were in like pre-production mode pretty early in 2024, as I recall. So maybe 3 months to write the script, and probably 6 months to just think of the story and outline and kind of go through that process of it.
Yeah, that's how I write too, is I have so many ideas and I'll just make notes and they just percolate.
Yep.
And then when they're ready, then I'll sit down and write, or well, I outline first, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you wrote it, did you write it with the intention of filming it, or with entering it in contests? Did you enter it in contests?
Yeah. So, one of the things is I shot a short film with my son, Danny. And so we shot that, I don't remember exactly when it was, probably a year prior to that. And the chemistry and the banter that he and this other actor had in that short film, it's about a 12-minute film. That was as much of anything is like, man, if I could get those two in the same space again and even pull some of the dialogue or the banter into that space, there may be something there as part of like a larger ensemble piece. And so, so the number one intent was the ultimate father-son project of do something with my son that would be simultaneously fun for us, but also just kind of like there's a forever memory. Like if anybody sees it, awesome. If it makes people laugh, great. Minimally, he and I have that together and show our kids, grandkids, like, yeah, that's your dad, that's your grandpa. So minimally down the line, I've created something that's an artifact that will mean a lot to me. So that was goal number one, is make something with him. Goal number two was to take the success or the bright spots of that short film and see if can I expand this short film into a larger piece of an ensemble of there's this thread, there's that thread, there's this other thread, and how do we make it? And then the title with Van Damned and the current, at that time, the current feel around van life, because some of this is coming out of COVID and that kind of spiked up in a good way. And so it's just all of these things coalesced, and that became okay, I've got it. And then the outline became pretty simple because you had 25 to 33% of it already known, like there's that relationship that we're going to follow. And there's going to be this one, there's going to be this one. And then how do I take this triptych situation and get it all funneled into that third act? So, yeah.
What's the name of the short film?
A Hint of Menace.
Is that somewhere where we could see it?
I think somewhere on Vimeo or YouTube. I could find it. I'm interested to release this one and then maybe circle back to, hey, by the people who brought you that thing, if you're interested in some more of this guy's work or that character, there it is.
Yeah. So it took you like a year to film then?
No, it took us like 10 days to film.
Oh, okay.
And then it took
pre-production was a long
pre-production and post-production, like that edit and getting that right. And that's the thing. Like ultra low budget is when you don't have the money to fund anything faster, right. And then that's what it is. And it is what it is. And you kind of go in knowing like, would I like to have this sooner? Sure. Can I afford to have it be any sooner? No. And it's probably worked to our advantage. So the DP is the editor.
Who is your DP?
Nick Stout.
Oh, okay.
He's awesome.
Director of photography, Nick
Stout. Yeah, and he edited, and he'll be a co-producer on it. But just a great eye, a great ear, and just a great sense of comedic timing. And so that ended up being, interestingly, I had seen a short that he did, a short comedy about van life. And that had stuck in my mind as one of the best things I'd seen in 4 to 5 years. I connected with him somehow. We met and we talked about just film. And then I just kind of put a pin in that. And then COVID happens or kind of winds down. Mm-hmm. And then I reach out to him again. Hey, I'm working on something. Can we connect again? And it was just like, bam, that's the guy. He's feeling the same. Yes, let's go. And he was looking for something to move from first AC to a DP kind of thing. Like that, man, I'd really like something to call my own. Yeah. And amazing like talent and the craft and the technical aspect, but even more so just like on-set glue of just calming people down, helping with communication. So when you're just this shoestring budget, you need people like that. You need to happen into benevolent talent, and that's what he is. And then on the editing side, same thing. He would send me cuts of it. And I, as a writer and director, you're especially attached to it. And so it's hard to let anything like, oh, what about this? And, but man, he nailed the edit time and time again and be like, oh man, I'm glad you got that shot and that you found it amongst the footage. So he was huge for making this happen, but it takes longer because he's got day jobs. He's got other film. He just wrapped something a couple weeks ago. He's got to keep doing his other things. These folks that are full-time into the business, right? They've got to be working. They can't always be working on my passion project. So you have to just be patient and understanding and grateful about it. But
yeah, we've talked about it before, but on this podcast. But I think having the director of photography be also the editor is a huge bonus. Yeah. Because when they're filming, they have an eye for edit. They know they're going to edit. So I think they, and not that DPs aren't great if they're not an editor, but I think it helps if they do both. Yep. So this is your first feature then.
It is my first feature that's out there, yes.
Yeah. And had you directed before, other than the short film? Had you directed for anyone else, or?
No, I've never directed for anything else. Again, for me, anytime it's been direction to this point anyway, it's always, hey, I've pitched this, I've sent it, they've optioned, they've done, but never has it come to fruition. Right. And so this was, again, make a film with my son. But don't wait around. Don't wait on, make a film with my son if it gets funded by so-and-so. Like, no,
don't wait for permission. Just do it.
No, So I had to get after it.
Did you fund it yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to share where your budget is? You don't have to.
Stay right there. We'll be back to hear more from Derek. Are you passionate about supporting independent filmmakers and local storytelling? Become a sponsor of the Oregon Indie Film Podcast, where we shine a spotlight on Oregon's thriving independent film community. Our listeners are filmmakers, film lovers, and creative professionals eager to discover local talent and stories. As a sponsor, your brand will reach an engaged, creative audience that values community and authentic storytelling. Join us in celebrating Oregon's indie film scene. Let's bring your brand into the spotlight. Ready to partner? Let's talk.
Calling all filmmakers, performers, and creatives. The Soundstage is your home for high-quality recording in the Portland area. Whether you're working on an audio or video podcast, voiceover project, audiobook, casting your next film, or need help with that self-tape audition, we offer a professional, welcoming studio space. Come record with confidence and mention the Oregon Indie Film Podcast to get $5 off your next session. Learn more about The Soundstage, the Northwest's premier voiceover and recording studio, at thesoundstagenw.com.
Thanks for sticking around. We're back and ready to hear about the budget for Van Damned and more from Derek Garrison.
Yeah, you'd asked the previous person this one. I thought, what would I answer to this one?
Yeah, because sometimes if you're finding it yourself, you don't really know. Because it's like,
right, yes.
I think making a film is like building a house. It always takes longer and costs more money than you plan.
Yeah, so. That is true.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. Many people on the crew and cast have said, we did an amazing job given this budget. And I don't think there's any fractured relationship. I think everybody got paid what they got paid.
Yeah, they knew up front.
Never went back on anything like that. But we're at about $15K.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very ambitious, but it's a lot of people. If not, no donations of time per se. More just working for pretty cheap. Right. And man, some good memories. We did a cast and crew showing of it, and just to see them, to be sitting back row and just the genuine laughs and camaraderie, and you're right back on set, it feels like. So that's rewarding, just to see a bunch of happy people, and they're promoting it. I mean, they're excited to see it. That night on the night's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited for that. So during this filming, did you cast the film yourself then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is also, I mean, a great lesson there is if you don't have casting yourself is important, because as a writer and director, I mean, I've seen this movie, 24 times in my head of what you think, less what I want and more what I know I don't want. And so when it comes to that casting process of just knowing talented but no, talented but no, talented but no, and then kind of winnowing that down, and then I think the thing that I surprised myself with the most in a positive way for me, I cast this thing, my instincts were great. These actors are so hilarious. Logan Cannon.
Yeah, who was just on the podcast.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And I had worked on a short with,
guy.
Hilarious. And again, just nobody's full of themselves. Like, there's no ego on this set. And I'd seen Logan in action a week or two prior. I was down in a short film being a PA with a buddy down in east of Burns, actually. And Logan was in that. And so I kind of got this sneak peek of like, okay, talented, this guy could look. Also, he's just so low maintenance, right? And so, and time again, Shay, Natalie, Kira, Danny, Steve, Colin, like just, if not pros, because a lot of these people can't be like, Logan's like a pro dude, right? But a lot of these people, it's like, it's this side hustle. But man, the cast is hilarious and so gracious with their time, and hey, take two. And some of these days were like, it's 90 degrees, 90 plus, a little dusty. My backyard. I got some acreage in East County. Okay. So it doubles as a forest. Yeah. But really, for as tough a shoot it is in some regards, gosh, again, great actors and even better people. And there's I think the cast is like 14 or 15. Every one of them, I think, I was just telling my other son this today, he's like, so tell me about the movie. I'm like, I'm not, no spoilers, but I was just thinking through, he says, what kind of scene, or who's the funniest? And I'm like, there's some people that have like one scene, it's like 2 minutes. She's hilarious in it. Hey, follow the story, but that dude, that guy.
Yeah.
So just really pleasantly surprised that I cast it as well as I did. And that Portland sometimes, there's not, you got to go to LA if you want. I don't know, man.
I
there's
think
some,
that's
there's some really good actors
not
there.
true. We have great talent and great crew here.
Yes, yeah.
I think, So you didn't really have any trouble finding cast or crew that...
No, so I mean, it was backstage. That's what I used to cast it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then I had put it in a couple other places. But I think the portal was through backstage. But then Logan was kind of a last minute find of just seeing like, maybe that's one of the last parts that I cast. And then just seeing him there is like, he'll nail the role. And look how he's working with other people. Natalie, same thing, was down there in this shoot in Burns. And she came down from Seattle. Hilarious. Like, again, just if you look hard enough and kind of like use backstage or something, but then you just network and ask other people or go to John's the Portland Stumps thing, like Jerry's thing, go to these events and kind of network out and find like, hey, it might not be this person, but hey, you worked with so-and-so in that one, are they approachable? I find Portland to be, maybe it's different for other people. Not very full of themselves.
No,
like just willing of like, you got to talk to so and so.
I think that's very true, and I've talked about that before on the podcast. I think the Oregon and Portland specifically, people are really nice, in the film industry, and they really want to help each other succeed. Yeah. And the people who aren't nice don't last because they don't get work. I mean, I have a no asshole policy when I'm working, and it's just and I know a lot of people do. Yeah. Everybody's just really nice and wants to be successful and wants to see everybody else be successful. I love that. Yep. It's part of why I'm doing the podcast, because I want to promote all the good stuff that's happening.
Right on.
So were there any like unexpected challenges that you had while you were filming? Like anything that you didn't think about? And
I mean, there were things that I didn't think about, but I did a pretty good job of knowing, man, there's probably a bunch of things I haven't thought about. And so, again, that's where Nick and his reps and experience and demeanor were really, really helpful, because he would be thinking of things that I'm not, and he'd be able to communicate with crew in a way that a rookie is like, I don't even know what we're doing here. It allowed me to spend more time with the actors, and you'll hopefully see and enjoy. There's a cadence to it. There's a rhythm to it. You got to be paying attention. For as silly, and it is silly, as silly a comedy is, there's a good 30 to 40% of these jokes of like, no, you kind of got to be smart to get that one. Right. But it's a little deeper cut, but it's also hilarious. And so it allowed me to kind of wordsmith and play with the rhythm and the cadence of some things, and really kind of steer and direct the actors a little bit here and there. But again, they arrived a bunch of smart people too. Like they got it right off the page. We were doing some virtual table reads of it, and that's what kind of sealed the deal on some of the casting decisions. Is like, oh man, can you imagine once she gets in that space, like here we go. And you can see the other people on your Zoom screen laughing at that, and it's like, okay, this is resonating now. If they're getting it now, like we're in good shape. Yeah. So surprises, I mean, I think the biggest surprise as a director all the time, if you're new to it, is just like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. Are we going to make our day and stuff like that? So I kind of knew that going in. We had one actor get sick on a day. As you can imagine, this 9-10 day shoot, it's like a Tetris, like it's got packed tight of like, this has got to come together. This has to work. And so you get the wild card of the 5 a.m. text. I'm sick. I don't think I can make it.
Shuffle.
How quickly do we shuffle it? And then what is that ripple effect on, we'll just move it. No, you won't, because you don't have him. You don't have her. You don't. And so that was probably, I would put that as one of the most stressful moments for me, was when they were sick, and just, you have some hair and makeup and some effects. And it's like, if that person isn't there, we can't do any of those things.
Right.
Like it just doesn't happen. And so to have that come together, she didn't, as I recall, when she did finally make it back to set, still pretty beat down, and we lucked into it continuity-wise, where it's like, that actor probably, or that character probably would be a little beat. So it like,
let's go with it.
You look great, kind of. So it worked out, but that was, again, the flexibility of people and the ability to create it. Hey, that thing I said yesterday, that's not what we're doing. We're doing this.
Yeah, we're going to do this. Pivot.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you have Lincoln Beard opening for your premiere. Do you have a connection with that, or how did that happen?
So Chris, the lead singer of Lincoln's Beard, they are. He's my dean of students. So he and I steer America's youth by day, and then make music and film by night. So yeah, he's a heck of a guitarist and a lead singer in that band. They've got a decent following in Vancouver and down here. So the idea, similar to what John talked about in his episode, of what if you make a night where there's a couple things going on, like come for the music, stay for the film, come early and listen to some tunes before. So it seemed like a really cool fit. If it draws a crowd that helps fill some seats, that's awesome. My youngest son, he's a vocalist. He's going to sing a couple songs with the band.
Nice.
Now I've got the film that I made with this son. Other son's getting to sing at a cool venue like the Abbey. And anytime that you can get a 2-for-1 or something more out of it than like hopefully the film's fun for the people.
Right.
But what a fun night. So.
Right. No, I love that. I love that, bringing your family in and making them part of it. Portland is unique in that we have so many musicians and so many filmmakers. Yeah. So it almost seems natural to combine the two. When John brought that up in his interview, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. So maybe that's how we'll evolve in Portland.
Hopefully.
Is, starting to have more music and film events combined. I love that. Because you can't make film without music. No. You need those musicians.
Yep.
What's your plan with Van Damme? Like, do you have a distribution plan, festival plan, strategy?
There's lobbed out to some festivals to see. It's horror comedy, and so the idea of a genre festival, it's a pretty, like, threading that needle might end up being tough, because a horror genre is like, we might be big enough to have room on our slate for a horror comedy just to change it up. If we've got enough screens, maybe. But it kind of limits you as far as like, oh man, there's like 50. Is like, not really. If you look at who's won or who's been a selection there, it's like within horror, how many horror comedies?
Right.
Like 2, and it's still competing against the world. So didn't put a ton into that, but was trying to be strategic, and we'll see. I mean, it'll be an important month to know about that, of just, there's one, I've got family in Boise. Well, there's the Boise Film Fest. That may be one. There's, you got a couple of actors from the Seattle area, and there's a couple small towns up there. It'll be like, hey, the girl from such and such town makes it big. Maybe, but I don't go to festivals enough to know of like, do they care if it's a locally made thing? Like, I don't know if made in Oregon, if it matters. I don't know if they respect, man, you shot this in 10 days. Like, I don't know if that, I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, I think some of them do, but some of them like to have films from other areas. Yeah. So it just depends on the festival. But it's tough. My strategy was submit to the festivals like the big ones that I thought were appropriate for my film.
Yep.
And then submit to the ones I wanted to go to.
Yeah,
so that if I
did that too.
If I get selected, it's like, I want to go there.
Right.
So, that was good.
Yeah.
Festivals are tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
So distribution.
Yeah, so we'll probably go, just in my research of it, I mean, I don't know anybody, and it just seems like there's so many horror stories around that we'll probably end up going with indie rights. And, they're pretty straightforward of like, this is what this is, and we'll see what happens. And, if you get into a festival or if people say nice things after the August 9th, maybe you can develop some word of mouth. And again, my floor on this thing is already so much higher than I thought of. You made this movie with your son, that anything would be considered a high ceiling for me. And so there's that. I mean, I'm certainly I've got 4 other things I'm working on right now that I'm excited about. And it would be cool if Van Damme did, anything resembling a calling card of being able to tell the Prodco, hey, I made this thing. And they could check it. Hey, go on Amazon. You check it out right now. And if they see, it's like, okay, I see why that works. And this maybe calling card film plus lots of success in different contests. Maybe those 2 crack a door open with I've got a lot of different things that you might be interested in. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's so different for everyone. I mean, there's no tried and true path.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the other things you're working on?
Sure.
Yeah. No, first I wanted to ask you though, so you've had a lot of success with your writing, screenwriting. Have you had any options?
Yeah, I've had 2 options. One was on a dramedy true story about a veteran that rides his bike across the United States, advocating for veterans' causes. It's a great story.
Is that a true story?
Oh, yeah. True story. And the guy was from Vancouver. I met him. He was a speaker at a big Veterans Day assembly that we had. A really inspiring and crazy story, and there's some depth. Anybody who's going to ride their bike is usually riding from something a bit too, and so there's some introspection. So, but as you might, I mean, there's just man versus time, man versus man versus self. Like there's just conflict galore. And that one, it was 6 months with a very A-list guy. And the reasons for passing on it eventually are understandable and legit. And so, so that one is still out there and trying to find a home for it. I've got a crime thriller, inspired by the Eagle Creek fire from a number of years ago. I had to evacuate my house during that one for 10 days.
You did? Oh, devastating.
Yeah.
Eagle Creek is like my favorite trail. And I could not watch what was happening. Yeah, I can't imagine living there.
So that one, in fact, a week ago, it got quarterfinalist in Creative Screenwriting's contest.
That film needs to be made.
Oh, it's it's a great one. It's some coverage of it. I've had 2 people. This is like No Country for Old Men, but in Portland or in the mountains. So that feels good, of course. And then I got another comedy. Having done Van Damned, I see the pathway of how it could be done. I see a pathway of how it can be done at that budget, how it can be done at twice that or 3 times that budget if there was funding behind it. So I'm working on another horror comedy that, if this works, I would love to go back to anybody on the cast and crew of like, hey, it's that, but you're being paid better. And that would be the dream, is do that next year and have that be the 2026 film, which is like, let's go get the band back together and make it happen. So that's the one that I'm probably most excited about right now.
Yeah, nice. Of all the things that you do, so writing, directing, and now you've produced, do you have a favorite? Is it writing?
Writing is still a favorite because it's just you and your world that you've made and your characters that you've made, and you can swing and miss in private, right? So if I I think this is something, and you get going, it's like, well, first it's 8 pages too long. It's not that funny. It's not moving. So you can, it's not a public failure. It's just whatever. This, Van Damned is a perfect example of there's some vulnerability to directing these things. It's like, oh my gosh, that's my name up there twice now.
Well, it's not just vulnerability when it's done, but it's while you're shooting.
Absolutely. You feel like all eyes are on you.
Exactly.
And so so the vulnerability is an aspect of it, but again, here's my vulnerability. Here's my desire to create a product. Here's my desire to create a product with my son. At some point, it's like you get over the vulnerability of I'm not going to wait on Hollywood. I think this is funny. I think this is smart. I think this will make an audience cry. I think this will make an audience think. Whatever that thing is that you as a filmmaker or storyteller, as soon as it eclipses vulnerability, you kind of just figure out okay, let's figure out a way. Let's meet people. Let's network. Let's favors for favors, just figure out a way. And so for me, that eclipsed it. Then when I built the script, it was I believe in this thing. And then once the casting is oh my gosh, she's hilarious. this guy's, oh man. And so you just have enough things where I believe. Mm-hmm. And then it's like the vulnerability. Who cares about the vulnerability?
Right.
Whatever.
It eclipses the vulnerability when you start believing in yourself and everyone around you. That's so true. So I always like to ask this question. What is your big, beautiful dream? Like, it can be film related, it could be related to anything. If money or time was not an object, what would you do?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably take a month at a time of just some Airbnb in wherever my sons are living at whatever stage in life, and just like, man, I'm here, let's do something. Or, oh, you're busy? Well, I'm here. If you change your mind. So it would be time spent with my boys in wherever they're at in life, like physically, but also just like where they're at in life. So it'd be added time hanging out with them. From a filmmaker standpoint, what would it be? It would be have enough money where I'm in that town where my sons are, like, well, I'm here for a month, I'm making a movie. Yeah. But when I'm off let's go watch a game, let's go to a concert, let's get dinner or whatever. So, because I feel like I have enough stories where it's like, easily I could tell 4 stories a year. And just go there. So that'd be pretty awesome.
Nice. And so you have 4 sons?
Got 4 sons and 4 stepkids too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so 8 kids.
And what's the age range?
Oldest is 28 and the youngest is about to be 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Busy times.
Yeah, how do you ever find time to make
I don't know. Well, you double up, you make your hobby related enough with what your son is into, and so to get a 2 for 1.
I love that. Yep. That's great. And so, advice for people listening, like maybe they want to start writing, maybe they want to make a film. I mean, do you have, any bits of wisdom to share that you haven't already talked about?
Yeah, I mean, I think to my son who is into, I think you write a lot. Just get out there and write a lot. I think, conflict is where it's at. You can have something to say and it's a slice of life. And that's true. But again, I go back to what I said at the beginning. What are stories if they're not told to somebody? And it's important to be thinking about your audience. And that audience can be different. Certainly you don't need to go all Marvel film and like, whoa, our audience has to be a gazillion people or whatever. But it is important to have some conflict and have something to say. I think it's easier to get something made if you have some conflict and something like, no, there's some tension here. And so I would just encourage, if somebody's getting into writing, start with something that has conflict. You may get to slice of life at some point, but I think there's conflict to be explored. That would be my tip that way. And then as far as directing or biting off more than you can chew a lot, it turns out. Go for it. Just keep creating. Like, obviously you gotta have priorities in life, but man, get over that and just create. Yeah. Because even a good thing, even if Van Damme is good, and I think it is good. I think it's funny. Even if it wasn't, I did it.
Right.
Right.
And it'll last forever.
And it'll last forever. So just get out there and just create.
Yeah, and I think not waiting for permission. I think that's,
exactly.
a really good message, is just do it and don't wait for someone else to say it's okay to do. Is there where can we find you online? I guess I should ask that. I know you're on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, so Instagram and TikTok, so Van Damned the movie. Van Damme movie or Van Damme the movie? Make sure I get this right.
I'll put it in the show notes. So.
Yeah, let me double check that I get this correct before
It is Van Damned the movie.
Van Damned movie.
Oh, Van Damned.
So not the movie, just Van Damned movie. So Van Damned movie on TikTok, Van Damned movie on Instagram. Facebook, it might be just through me, but and Alberta Abbey does a great job of cross-promoting. And so we're out there.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about that we didn't cover, or anything you want to share?
No, just, thank you to you guys. And there are other places in the nation and whatnot that they're having their podcasts and trying to connect with audiences and connect with filmmakers. And I just appreciate that within the filmmaking culture, there's also this other place of get to know the artist, get to know the creative. Even the thing of like, do you have any tips or whatever? It's like, I don't know. I just made a movie that, like, who am I to say that there's tips? But I just appreciate the camaraderie within the community and the, like you're saying, we're just trying to lift everybody up. Yeah. I don't know if it's unique to Portland because I did a podcast with a dude from San Antonio, another guy from Chicago. They were cool too. But I love Portland. Had a great experience making this thing. I hope to make another one for sure. But it's very appreciated the time and just getting to talk with other people that is excited about it. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. And maybe we'll get a chance to work together someday.
Right on.
Yeah,
right
on our filmmaking journeys. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to continue the conversation with Derek Garrison, reach out to him on Instagram. Be sure to get your tickets for the August 9th Portland premiere of Van Damned at Alberta Abbey with opening band Lincoln's Beard. I hope to see you there. You'll find all those links in the show notes and more. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to leave a 5-star review and share it on your social media. It helps us connect with more indie film lovers. Want to support the podcast by becoming a guest or a sponsor? Reach out at OregonIndieFilm@gmail.com.